Pisces, welcome to you. This is your tarot reading coming from the mountains of Java for the month of June. Pisces, I really hope that you get something from this. And if you do, if you could like it, if you could pass a comment, subscribe, hit the bell. It all helps me with these dreaded YouTube algorithms. But above all, I want you to know that this is about you, Pisces. And I really hope that it's useful for you. You may well be asking, why from Java? What's important about tarot from Java? And the truth is, there is nothing so important about tarot from Java. Simply that here in Java, we have many different spirits who will come to help in your tarot reading. It'll probably put a different reflection on things. For example, the spirits here are less likely to be concerned about love and finances, despite people in Java being every bit as interested in these things as the rest of us. But maybe the spirits are trying to tell us something else. Now I'll be using probably 2 decks, but out of 3 decks. So the first deck is Tarot Nusantara, the second deck is the Steampunk deck, and the third deck is the Light Visions Tarot. Tarot Nusantara is actually a new one to me, which I love, whereas the Light Visions I've struggled with as a result of the rendering. Although I think I'll grow into it, I will keep using it and coming back to it. You can see on all of them I'm using quite a lot of salt, and that's to clear the energy and the spirits from them, something that I do fairly regularly with my tarot. And I also, you'll see a number of Jimat there that I use just to bring a good energy to the tarot and to my reading. Perhaps the most important mystical object we use in Java is the kris, the curly knife that you can see that I've placed across both decks. Kris are very important for bringing the spirits to work on any object here in Java. All of the spirits of the mountain to assist me in shuffling the cards, in selecting the right cards, and interpret them correctly for Pisces for June 2022. Pisces, I'm not entirely happy with this reading. I'm not entirely happy. You see that card, that there's a tower, top right. Major upheaval and change. I never like it, and there are other tarot readers who see it as potentially positive, and I need to bear that in mind. The middle card there, the 9 of Cups, blessings, particularly monetarily, money blessings. And I used to think it was a great card, but then I looked at the difference between this and the 10, and the difference is you're all alone. I wonder if there's been a relationship breakup in a distant past. I wonder, it's possible. The bottom right, the 8 of Wands, suggests you had a firm direction, you had your ducks in a row, you were moving with pace. But now we have the Hierophant card, and the Hierophant I normally associate with formal religion. So have you suddenly found religion? It could be just a more conservative way of doing things. Your future energy is the Queen of Pentacles. She's a lovely queen, but she thinks she's struggling. I think others don't think you are. Maybe struggling to hold things together. And here's where this sort of, are you by yourself? Have you been left with a family to bring up? And you're struggling to bring them up and bring in the money and blah, 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 you know, everything. The energy impacting on the outcome is the Knight of Pentacles, a steely determination, a determination to get things done, but things moving rather slowly. What would change the outcome is the Lover's card. So, a new love coming into your life? Could it be? Or it could be the old love coming back even. But could it be that changes everything? Yeah, I think you have lost a love in the past. Now, that would change everything, because if you carry on as you are, there's going to be a tower moment. There's going to be an abrupt ending to things. And, I'm inclined to think that maybe I shouldn't interpret this as a bad thing, because it feels like you're stuck in a rut. And if the universe enforces a tower moment on you, you'll have to change. But let's look at each card individually for you, Pisces. So yeah, the energy running through it all is the Nine of Cups. Now, that is a great card. It's a lovely card. It's a card of wealth. It's a card of a degree of happiness. A card of blessings. And, it's just me, really, that sees it this way. But what I'm mindful of is he's by himself. He's by himself. And which leads me to think that maybe you lost somebody. Maybe you lost somebody. You look at it. He's dressed in his finery. He's sitting on a throne. He's got the cups behind him. But he is by himself. And this energy runs throughout the whole thing. So I think the energy running throughout this reading is the fact that you're somewhat alone. Yeah. Now, in the past, we have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is a good card. It's suggesting you had a firm direction, you knew where you were going, you knew what you were doing, you had your ducks in a row. Everything was moving quite quickly in a uniform type of way. You were sure of yourself. You look at the card, well, there are the 8 wands, all going through the air, in unison, in parallel, if you like. So it suggests that things were very much together in the recent past. And now we have the Hierophant card, which does suggest that something has changed. Now, I normally associate the Hierophant with formal religion. And in fact, if you look at the card, it's called a Gama, which does mean religion. It's somewhat ecumenical because of these cards often are. And there's the two people bowing down to the greater knowledge of the Guru there. So it's normally about a formal religion rather than spirituality. It could simply be a more conservative way of doing things, sort of looking to a higher authority, looking for guidance from a higher authority. So it's as though, you had a firm direction, but something has happened that has somewhat changed that. That's how it feels. Future energy is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, she's a lovely queen, don't get me wrong. She's a lovely, lovely queen. But she's a queen that's got a lot on her plate. And I call her the single mother card, but you needn't be a parent and you needn't be female. But it's that sort of energy that she's struggling to keep things afloat, or at least she thinks she is. I think the world probably feels you're doing a very good job, but you're tired. You look at the card, she is tired. She's sitting in that beautiful garden. She can't really enjoy it because of she's so tired, isn't she? She's got that pentacle in her hand, so it's about money. It's about you sort of trying to hold down a job and do everything else, you don't have that work-life balance. There's what I presume is a hare, but it could be a rabbit in the corner. And I think the significance of that is to do with children. So it could be that you're trying to bring up a family by yourself, but it needn't necessarily mean that. No. Now, the card impacting on the outcome, Pisces, is the King of Pentacles. Sorry, the Knight of Pentacles. He's a slow-moving knight. He gets the job done. He's reliable. You can rely on him. He's determined, but he's very sluggish. Now, given that we've had that Queen, which is you struggling to keep everything together, I think all you can see to do is keep doing more of the same. And things are moving a little bit slowly for you by keep following what you've always done. You look at the card, well, the horse looks to be hardly moving. Got a pentacle in his hand, which suggests that it's all about money. He is determined. You can rely on him. He will get the job done. But as I say, it's desperately slow. Not very creative. And I think later on that leads you to being the opposite, to being impulsive. Yeah. Now, the card that would change the outcome is the Lover's card, and it is what the name says. It's about love, probably a divine love. Is this a new love coming into your life? Or is this you getting that old love that I believe was there back into your life? Clearly that would change everything, because you're no longer having to bring up a family on your own, if indeed that's what you were doing. You look at the card, well, yeah, it feels divine. They're both naked. They've got nothing to hide. Nothing to hide from each other. And above them, is that an angel? I don't know. But there's a sun there. So there's something very divine about it. But if you look between them is a Wayang character called a Gunungun. And it has three sides. One side is the known side. The other side is the unknown. And the final side is the shadow side. Is that relevant? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But this does offset the outcome, which it's interesting. It's interesting. Because the outcome is the Tower. This is abrupt and sudden changes to your life. Probably unwelcome at the time they occur, because you're not expecting them. You're not anticipating them. Your world is going to change, and change irrevocably. But given that I'm not entirely happy with the feeling that's coming from this card, maybe it's necessary, and many tarot readers see it this way. You look at the card, well, the tower's been struck by lightning, the people are falling out of the tower. It looks, I mean, what I would say with the Nusantara renderings, those cards that are less positive look very bad, and those cards that are more positive look very positive. But there's always hope. I'm not too certain you can rebuild your life, but you can start afresh. And I think if you don't find love, the universe is going to force you to change. And as I say, I've had this overall somewhat pessimistic feeling about this spread, even though I can't put my finger on it. So I think the universe is actually doing you a favour here. But what I want is a bit of clarity, and I want clarity on this Tower card. So as I say, I want clarity on the Tower card, and I want clarity, I seek clarity on that. And the first card I get is the Three of Cups, which is a card of friendship, a card of teamwork. The next card I get is a Page of Wands. That's you seeking new experiences, new ideas, but maybe a degree of naivety. And a similar card, we then have the Knight of Wands, another wand. And this Knight of Wands, brave, fearless, but rushes into things, gets into situations that maybe they shouldn't. Yeah, the first card of clarity is this Three of Cups card, and it's about friendships. Could be about love, but I think it's more about friendship. Do you know, when I see this particular rendering, you see the boy between the two girls, it's almost as though there's something of a triangle going on there. There's jealousy between them. That's not the normal interpretation, but you know, when I see this particular rendering, that's what I always think of. I wonder if that's relevant. Certainly a card of friendship, maybe a time for celebration, working with others, working as a team. Now, why would that cause a tower moment? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So now we have the Page of Wands, which is you being anxious for change, you wanting something to happen. So this very much contrasts with that Knight of Pentacles, that slow moving. This is you anxious for change, anxious for new ideas, anxious for things to happen. Wanting to go off on a new journey, but not necessarily knowing where you're going. Sort of a open and up for everything. You look at her, she's quite coy, isn't she? She's up for anything, but she does look a little bit naive. So prone to getting yourself into situations that maybe you can't cope with. As I say, the exact opposite of the Knight of Pentacles, and indeed the Queen of Pentacles that we've had in the past. And that would bring about this abrupt change because of, yeah, you've changed the way you do things. I think confirming that line of thinking is we now have the Knight of Wands, so another wand here, so another action orientated card. Knight of Wands is fast moving, he's brave, he's fearless. Often the renderings show him on a horse charging into battle with only a stick in his hand. So, impulsive, getting into situations you probably shouldn't get into. And if you look at the rendering, it always reminds me, I don't know why, of Lord Carnarvon opening up King Tutankhamun's tomb. And you may know the story is that everybody that was involved died within, I think it's a year of opening the tomb. Tutankhamun's curse, as they call it. But anyway, it's suggesting to me that you do something with others to do with money that brings about a major change in your life. Yeah. And you know, if we go back to the card that runs through the entire reading, that was the Nine of Cups. And I said, oh, well, of course, that is about blessings, but I also said that you're on your own. And I wonder if you're feeling lonely, wanting to get involved with other people, but you rush into things with others and it's the wrong things. And I think it is about money here. Yeah, I think we can summarise now, Pisces. Pisces, I think there's something further in the past that's not shown on this spread. And I think you were in a happy relationship, maybe a family, and it's split up. That's the feeling I get. Because certainly now you're struggling a little with, say, work-life balance, or maybe you're struggling to bring up a family by yourself. Certainly I've got a feeling throughout this whole spread that you're on your own. And you're feeling a little bit lonely. You're feeling that you're struggling because you're by yourself. In the past, you had a very firm grip on what you were doing, why you were doing it, where you were going. But that seems to have been changed by you've probably finding religion. It could be just a more conservative way of doing things, but no, I think it's you've found religion. And as I say, what seems to be dominating your thinking is this feeling of being alone. Can I actually do everything? We've got this Knight of Coins, things moving a little bit slowly for me. Things moving a little bit slowly for you, yeah. Methodically, one foot in front of the other, but you're not achieving the sort of change that you'd really want. And if you carry on as you are, everything's going to come to an abrupt ending. And I think that's a bit of a godsend, but it's going to come to an abrupt ending because you've rushed into things. I think with other people without checking them out. Now what would change all this is someone new coming into your life, almost certainly a lover or a love. And if that happens, then I think there's greater hope. But I think you're more likely to push on with doing things how you've always done them because you can't really see the wood for the trees. So the universe is going to impose this major change on you. That's how it feels, Pisces. I do hope you've enjoyed Tarot from Java as an addition to my channel, The Magic of Java. Please take a look at the other videos that I have on this channel about magic from Java, and I hope that you will become a subscriber. Now if you want to hear your next tarot reading, hit the button and that will inform you of when I publish new readings. I'm certainly going to do a reading for every month, but maybe I will try them a bit more frequently, say a mid-month reading, and maybe also some special readings. But above all, thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you, and enjoy Java.